Marikyuun is known for her artwork's big eyes, cute characters, and bright colors. Her style is very unique, and that's why I've spent hours upon hours of time studying her to figure out how she draws this, and how you can too. So this video is broken down into different parts, and here are the times for each of them if you want to skip ahead. Now let's talk about Marikyuun's line art style. I think it's pretty easy to tell that her style is very clean, with smooth, confident strokes. That means no lines are drawn like this, and instead, they're drawn like this. She probably uses a fairly stabilized brush to accomplish this. And I know this wouldn't be about Marikyuun if I didn't mention thick lines on the outside, thin lines on the inside.
Thick lines on the outside and thin lines on the inside. Thick lines on the outside and thin lines.
And when you look at her art, you can definitely tell that she applies this to it. Every part on the outside of the character is thicker than any lines on the inside. Depending on the level of finish that she wants the artwork to be, the colors of the line art will change. For example, for a less finished artwork, a lot of the lines will be just black. But for a more finished look, she changes the colors more, like here. However, there are some basic rules she seems to follow almost every time. The line art color of the bangs and hair around the head are usually lighter than the rest of the line art for the hair. And the line art color for clothes is usually all one color. And the blush lines are usually pinker and lighter than everything else. Now I've also noticed that when doing line art, she fills in the eye part with pure black. Now on to coloring. She fills in all the base colors first, then she uses multiply for some shading. The shading is usually in large, simple, geometric shapes. Areas of shading most of the time are very minimal. They're usually drawn on the skin under the bangs, on the ear, on the neck, and on hair and various accessories. When it's a more finished artwork though, the shading can be almost everywhere. Coloring around the nose is usually just a nose highlight that's white and yellowish on the outside, like here. For hair highlights, I've seen many different ways she does this, but one of the ways is just a yellowish band across the top of the hair that's been erased in some areas. Places she uses airbrushes or gradients are on the cheeks under the eyes, and various areas of the hair. Now for eye coloring. She makes a circle on the bottom part of the eye with a dark version of the eye color, and then more even smaller circles gradually getting lighter. The final circle is usually a red, light version of the eye color or even a yellow sometimes. Then the oval-shaped white eye highlight goes right here. And then I believe she selects the first color we used and makes the pupil here. Now it's time to talk about proportions. So her characters' heads are pretty big compared to the rest of the body. And the cheek area is exaggerated here, as you can see. The necks are on the thinner side as well, and then the body is on the smaller side and shorter side. The eyes are big, the nose itself is small, and the ears are bigger and rounder. And for some finishing effects, she uses hints of screen tones in places. Depending on the level of finish, there will be more and more areas of screen tones. They're usually used in shadow areas like here, and they fade slowly. I would just recommend looking at Marikyuun's art, and eventually you'll have a good sense of where to put these screen tones. And if you guys want, I might make a part 2 going even more in depth on stuff. But for now, I hope you liked the video. And be sure to check out my style study of 𝚤𝚛𝚎𝚗, another famous artist, by clicking the video at the top right of the screen.